good? What's going on, everybody? You already know who this is, and it's definitely your favorite soulful child. Yeah, Shark come back to you once again. And yo, we at the P.E.G podcast, and you already know we still banging with artists of the week, and we got the public figures out here just showing their asses. I'ma say it like that. They uplifting people. They really in the grind, and why not keep connecting y'all with the best artists out there? I mean, total best artists. So look, y'all, I had to go dig up some more work, and y'all would never guess who I ran into. I got my man Aaron KELLIM in the building. Yo, y'all show him some love. Aaron, how you doing, bro?
What's up, Shark? Could you just be my Monday morning, every morning alarm clock?
I got you.
I'm hyped now. I'm so hyped. What's up, Shark? Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be here. I'm looking forward to this conversation. I love your energy, love what you do. So I'm grateful to be here.
Thank you, man. It's always a blessing linking up to like-minded souls and people out here grinding for their passion, man. It's like the year of everybody just stepping outside a box, you know what I'm saying? And just to see people really jumping outside of the norm and say, you know what, forget this. I'm gonna do my passion. I'm gonna do it no matter what. I have to keep linking people up because sometimes that road feel like it's alone, you know, especially if you don't know, like there's other people doing it with you. Yep. So why get the hottest people that's out, you know, even if you don't know about them, if you've never heard of Aaron KELLIM, you're going to hear about him today because he's definitely this out and he's on the P.E.G podcast. So y'all have no reason not to know my man. So, yo, Aaron, let everybody know, how did you start music? Like, how does all this started for you?
Yeah, so this goes back, man, I think it was, I think I was 7 when we randomly got a piano at our house. I think a friend's, I don't know if it was like a family member passed away and they were like, hey, do you guys want this piano? My parents were like, sure. And so we got a piano in our house randomly. And I started playing it when I was like 7, and I played by ear, which I didn't know that I could do. It just like kind of naturally happened. So my parents put me in lessons, but I hated lessons because in lessons they make you read music and I wanted to play by ear. So I stopped for a little bit. I would like tinkle around when I was just walking by it, but so that kind of lingered into just like, oh, it's fun because I can play like 2 songs. If a friend came over, be like, hey, check this out, I can play this, like whatever. But then in 8th grade is when I got my first guitar, because it was the first year we had guitars in the classroom at the school I was at. And so I picked it up. I had a friend in the class who could like play Stairway to Heaven and a bunch of other cool things. So I was like, I got to do that because I'm sure that dude gets girls, and I'll get girls too. So let's go. So 8th grade is when I started. In high school, I joined I started like a pop punk band with a friend. We were playing basement shows, VFW halls. I did that all throughout high school. Started traveling with my music right out of high school. Joined another band after that called One Lone Car, and we had some success. I was opening for like One Republic and Switchfoot and Train, opening for Chuck Berry one time, which is so random and amazing. And left that, just like some personal stuff I needed to get out of it. And then started a duet in like 2007, maybe it was. Gosh, I forget all the time frame. So did a duet thing. We outgrew our hometown, which was a small town in Illinois. We were just outside of St. Louis. So St. Louis is kind of like the big town where I say I'm from, because no one knows what Bethalto, Illinois is, even though I'm about to put it on the map. But for now, they don't really know what Bethalto, Illinois is. And so we kind of outgrew even the scene in St. Louis. So we moved to Los Angeles about 8 years ago now. Things kind of fizzled out with that. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep writing music, performing music. I was singing at a church at the time on staff there. So I was like, you know, this is working to kind of keep that creative niche that I had, but it was still just, you know, like welling up inside of me. In 2017, I was like, you know what? I think I got to start writing again. I left that job at the church, and I'd been just writing music since the end of 2017 as a solo artist. And it has been absolutely incredible. Absolutely.
Man, gotta be thriving for you, especially seeing your growth as an artist. Like anyone that's perfecting their craft, to be able to see their growth from where they started and to see people actually liking it, vibing with it, uplifting you. I know that has to be like a dope feeling. You know, I definitely have to be.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's so many things when you're with a group or in a duet, you always have that crutch in the fallback of like, oh, if this fails, it's not entirely my fault. Maybe they don't like the other person or the other members of the band. With this, it's like, no, if this doesn't work, it's all because people just didn't really care what I was putting out.
Yeah.
It's the reception has been incredible. I've like gotten to dip more into the kind of R&B world that, or like more the soul stuff that naturally just comes out of me, that I've always been afraid of. Like, I'm just this white kid from the Midwest, and that just, I don't, is that believable? I don't know. But that's been the stuff that like people have kind of hooked onto the most, because it's just literally what naturally comes out of me. So it's been incredible to look at those things that I've kind of been afraid of to present as an artist. Because before I was just like, well, I can sing high, and like, I guess that's what people like. I sing high, maybe they think I'm good. I don't know what it is, but now I really feel like people really appreciate my music, appreciate who I am as a singer, as a vocalist. And it's been just the best feeling, as like you were saying, like when people are receptive to that, people listen to it. I get comments all the time on YouTube like, yo, I just listened to this song today, and now I listen to it every single day because
Yeah.
it's what I want to wake up to. It's like that's it. That's why we do what we do. It's amazing.
Man, I love it. I really do. I love your song, man. It's very powerful. I mean, it's even chopping it up with Jay Denton. And you guys already know about Jay Denton already, man. Go follow him if you have not already. Yo, he already came onto the podcast and dropped so much knowledge. So, yo, go check that out. But Jay spoke so highly of you, and being able to collab with people that has soul, and they're not just connecting by the skills that they're doing, but soulfully what they're doing. Yo, like it's very powerful. And I heard his music and hearing your music, I'm like, whoa, what? That's crazy, man. Just to see that you guys like started from nothing. Like I wanted to try this and try that, and then you jump out there and try to do it individually. You know what I'm saying? And still collectively. So it was so crazy just talking to Jay and hearing how passionate he was. I already knew that, yo, if you coming from Jay, you at Endure Studios, you gotta have a fire. You guys got soul out there in Endure Studios. So shout out to Endure Studios, because
Yes.
a lot of talent out there, man.
Yeah.
Really. And the work that you guys are doing with that craft is so unbelievable. So unbelievable. How do you and Jay actually get linked up? I know that was pretty incredible linking up with a guy like him, but how do you guys actually start this?
Absolutely. That has been, those are the things like when you think about this industry, the music industry, it's like, well, yeah, I could, especially now, I could be doing what I'm doing in Illinois because I'm in a room with recording equipment. I can write music there. Like it could happen, but me meeting Jay like that stuff can only happen when you move to a place like Los Angeles. Because I was when I first moved here, I was just kind of, I was in the duet, but also trying to just get whatever guitar playing gig I could get. And I forget how it all happened, but I got linked up with an artist. She's a pop country singer named Malia Salas. And she sent me her music. She's like, here's the songs that we're going to be doing. And I was like, yo, whoever played guitar on this stuff, like, I haven't really found anyone who plays acoustic guitar. I'm a very much like a right-handed acoustic guitar player. So everything's pretty rhythmic. Like I like a lot of like, I want to feel percussive and like I have a drummer, even though I don't have a drummer with me. And so she's like, oh, that's my producer and my co-writer on everything. And she's like, he'll be at the show. You should, say what's up. So we met at the first show that I ever played with Malia, because he produced and co-wrote all her music. And we kind of hit it off. It wasn't anything like, you get a little hesitant out here, like, oh, we should work together. Like, yeah, everyone says that and you just never work together. So I said that and thinking like, we probably, like, he might be out of my league. I don't know. He probably already has his people. And so after that, we linked up maybe 3 or 4 months later, wrote a couple songs. It didn't, like, they were great sessions, but it just, like, for whatever reason, it wasn't the thing that really sparked our relationship as friends, our creative relationship. And it wasn't until he did the Endure project in Lebanon.
Yeah.
He asked me to be a part of that and co-write and sing on a couple of the songs. That's when he and I, like, something just happened. I think me really seeing his heartbeat, me really getting to see like why he does what he does. Cause I think that's the most important. Like there's so many singers in this town. There's so many creative people in this town, but when you can really see why people do what they do and it matches why you do what you do, I think that alignment in those moments just changed everything. And he and I just connected on such a different level. And so after that project, he invited me to be a part of Endure Studios. I work out of a studio now at Endure Studios, and it's been life changing. It's been incredible. He's the kind of guy you hear people talk like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this thing," and you're like, "Yeah, that's what everyone says, and it's never gonna happen. You're never gonna figure out how to do that. It's all big talk. You just like talking, so you don't have to work." Like a lot of people just talk so they don't have to put in the work. When Jay says something, it happens. Like every big dream, I'm just like, that sounds crazy, but it's gonna happen. And like, it's so fun being around dreamers like that who execute really well, and that's what Jay does. And he's just beyond any of it, the most incredible human being. So it it has been one. It's not one. It's been the biggest musical blessing for me to link up with Jay in this industry.
Yeah, I can definitely hear it in your voice, and listen to him talk about that Le'Veon project was dope, because had just knowing how many people from all over he brought together on that project, man, is crazy. So like knowing that you was a part of it and hearing your music, it definitely gives me a J vibe. You feel me? Like it let me know you've been blessed by him, and just him being able to bless other people to get on to Endure Studios or just get on a project to be heard. That's crazy, because you don't have other artists and producers that does that. They usually work with certain people, but Jay finds it in his heart to go out his way to go over all type of, over the country, around the world, to find people that has talent that are, that needs that push, and he pushes people. So that was so crazy to me when he was on the show talking about that project, and how powerful it is. It's changing your life. So if it changed your life, it definitely changed everyone that was a part of that project. And it uplifted me just hearing him say, these people had a voice, and I put them onto the platform to hear their voice in a bigger way. Yo, that is crazy.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
crazy.
That's
Yo,
one of those things. Like him saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to Lebanon and find some people, make a record." Most people say that, like, okay, that's cute. Like, it's never gonna happen. Like, of course, if Jay said it's gonna happen, yeah, there's just no doubt about it. He's gonna figure out how to do it, and it's incredible.
Yo, so I'm pretty sure when you had that moment, was it like like a shocking moment? Like, could you believe it that he actually said what he did exactly what he said he was gonna do? Like you said, many people would come up to you and be like, "Hey, we should do this project together. We should do this project together," but then they don't fall through. Was it crazy to actually see him fall through and see the blessing that came after it?
Yeah, I think in my mind when he asked me, I came into it after he'd already made the initial trip to Lebanon. So he and I didn't really know each other super well yet. So I didn't know how big of a dreamer he was yet. And so when I came in, he'd already been there once. So in my mind, it's like, okay, I think he might actually be doing this thing. But it was still I think when I watched the documentary that they made around it, that's when it hit me like, dang, this dude really, he does it. Like this
Yeah,
guy sets his mind to something and it's going to get done, and it's going to get done really, really well. And it's going to change people's lives. And it was like, you just kind of sit back and you think, I get to be a part of this.
yeah.
That's so crazy. That's,
Crazy. Was anything a part of that made like scared you? Because I know when a lot of times when people, manifest things or they're going toward their dreams, that moment will happen and they'll get scared, they'll get timid. So when that moment happened, were you timid? Were you scared? Or you was like, this is my moment and I'm going for it?
yeah, when I think that happened when he asked me to be a part of Endure Studios, actually come work out of the studio here. Uh, I just remember thinking, well, A, that doesn't make sense. Like there's so many people you could ask in this town to come work on the studio. I don't know why you're asking me. And now I feel this, even though he put zero expectations on me, I instantly felt this, well, dang, I got to perform. Like if he asked me to be here, I better write a new song every day. I better like have 10 songs every month that I could release if I wanted to. So I felt an overwhelming sense of one, like, I think he's gonna figure out he made a mistake. Uh,
Ah,
we just have those insecurities about ourselves, which they're not true. And two, like, dang, I hope I can perform up to the level that I think I should be, even though he didn't place those expectations. So when he asked me to be a part of Endure, that's kind of like that freak out moment of like, dang, this is really happening. I hope I can perform. It's kind of the feeling.
right. look, you're here now, so you perform. You know what I'm saying?
I did it.
So you didn't disappoint yourself. So that was a good thing about it. And like you said, being around Jay, it really pushes you to thrive. He don't ask for it, but it's like seeing him thrive makes you want to thrive a little harder. You know what I'm saying? You need people to be around like that. Like I feel like a lot of people surround themselves with people that are not like-minded. But I like to say I want to surround myself with a smarter person. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room, right? Because I can't grow. So you put yourself around someone that had more experience, that did bigger things, and he gave you the opportunity. You're like, look, I may be scared, but I'm gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So hey, I like how you face your fears, but when you was in that moment and you're like, I can go for it, I may not go for it, I can mess up. What kept you going forward? Like, you know, most people would be like, they don't feel like they can live up to the expectation, they'll turn it down. What made like, nah, wherever it happens, I'm going for it? What made you do that?
Yeah, I think it was a few things. I think I'd step back, which I think is really important for us when we're making decisions or like in moments where we're not too sure. I just stepped back, like physically and mentally, took a step back. And I thought about, okay, look at my career so far. I've had music licensed to TV. I've opened for One Republic. I've opened for all these big bands. I've been on tours opening for big bands. Like, if I look at my track record in the history, I can't just write that off as a mistake. Like, it wasn't per chance that I was just in the right place at the right time every single moment. Like, there has to be a commonality that, yes, I'm good enough to be doing these things. So I think just stepping back and really retracing all of my lineage as an artist is like, oh yeah, okay, I'm good. Like, I'm good enough to be here. And then I also think I've seen what Jay does. I've seen what he puts out. I don't believe that he would ask someone to come into a space that he is unsure of. So him asking me to come in this space means he's 1,000% sure that this is the right call for Endure Studios. So those two things, when I just kind of took that moment to reflect on, it's like, oh yeah, this, I'm the right fit for this. And we're going to kill it.
I mean, being able to perform or open with Chuck Berry, you gotta be somewhere. You feel me? Like, you gotta be some level of confidence to be right there by Chuck Berry, and you did. So I mean, I would have been like that too. I'd be like, okay, it's my time to shine. If I flop, I mean, I got someone here to support me, you know, and it's okay. It's okay to let people know that you can mess up, you know. And Jay has messed up many times, you know, and felt like, you know, this wasn't gonna happen, this one happened. But the main thing that I love about Jay, his spirit, is that he's a strong pusher. Like, he's gonna go forward no matter what. Like, maybe everybody else don't believe in it, but as long as he believes in it, he's going towards it, you know. And you got that spirit. So it was just like you said, everything aligned at the perfect time. So man, you open up for Chuck Berry, you can open up for anybody. You feel me? Like,
exactly.
That's a lesson right there, man. And it's just great to hear people being able to collab and actually not be afraid to share resources. Because I feel like so long artists was afraid to share resources freely, you know, and that's backed up by labels and records and contracts. But being an independent artist, or being an artist, period, that's been able to work with other artists freely and have a producer like Jay to push your creativity, not change your creativity, but push it, bring it out. It's a blessing to be around, because so many people feed for that, you know, but not many people open their heart to do what Jay's doing. So shout out to my man Jay. Yo, love always, and shout out to the studios. Y'all, if y'all have not figured it out by now, I got my man Aaron KELLIM in the building, y'all, and y'all need to turn up with him. We about to talk about this song, right, man? This amazing song that he has featured on PG Podcast. And look, you want to stay tuned because it's dropping soon, and I ain't gonna tell you when, because you gotta be here. You gotta be here, okay? So stay tuned to PG Podcast, but let's talk about them, man. Let's go ahead and introduce your song so everybody can know, you know, what's the song, and let them know what was the creativity behind the song. I'm gonna let you introduce it.
Beautiful. So the song, gosh, I'm hoping this is the problem with releasing a new song every single month. I'm thinking the song you have is Hard Year. I'm pretty confident that's the song I gave you, was Hard Year.
It's We're Leaving, or we are
before we're leaving here.
Before Before we leaving, yeah.
Good thing we got to this moment. Okay, so before we're leaving here, yes, this is good. I love talking about this song anyway. So before we're leaving here, that song. So I guess kind of backtracking, a lot of Jay's success comes from licensing opportunities, and he's just built really great relationships with a lot of licensing companies. And so one of them is Atrium Music, and they're the ones who like, it's wild. I had 12 songs in last season of Temptation Island, which having 12 songs in one season of a show is, unless you're the one just creating the songs for the show, is unheard of. And that's all just because of what Jay's built with,
Right.
with this relationship. So Atrium, they asked if we would be interested in writing a song for a specific moment in the show. And Jay's heartbeat is always, because he's been doing that a lot, is like, I don't really want to write for a moment. I want to write from life experience that could work for a moment, which
Yeah.
is so smart. And so he's like, yeah, let's give it a shot. And so he was in a session with Faith Richards, who's another artist here with Endure Studios, and they started writing the song for this moment. It's like an end scene of the season where the two people on the show, they have to make this decision, and they've had a really just terrible relationship. Almost like there's no chance of any reconciliation whatsoever. And so we're writing this song for this moment, or at least Faith and Jay were. And then they were like, you know what? It's about a couple. Like, this could be really smart as a duet, to where you're getting both sides of the story coming together for the song. And so they hit me up when they're in the session, like, hey, would you be interested in writing this? It's a really quick turnaround, but we think it could be really special. So I ended up, Faith, I think she went out of town the night that after they wrote it. So they wrote her verse and chorus, tracked the vocals, and then sent it to me. The next day, Jay and I had a session. We wrote my verse and tracked the vocals. And it's just wild because this, like, the song, even though it was written in a day, sparked out of someone else's life circumstance.
Yeah.
But they started, because it's just directly Faith's life of what they wrote. It's her experience with relationships. And then I came into it and got to kind of speak history that I've experienced in relationships, or like seeing other people's relationships that have endured something like this. And the song is so special. I think, like, it feels so real because it was so real. There's nothing about it that was like, oh yeah, we wrote it based on this guy and this gal from this TV show and what we think they might be thinking. And so there's just something so special about, well, Faith's voice is insane. So it immediately sparks this like creative flow out of me anyway. And so, yeah, that song it's just so, I mean, it was written in 2 days time, but I guess technically 1 day, because if we would have done one session together, it would have been 1 day. And yeah, that was the first time Faith and I got to work together, doing a duet on a song, and I think we learned our voices work really well together. They did use the song in the episode. The gal that was in the episode, she posted like, oh my gosh, this is the perfect song for the moment in the episode. So she like followed us on social media, and she's always championing our music. So the whole thing was just so special, kind of out of left field a bit, because we didn't have the intention of coming in that day to write this song. It just like came to us, and yeah, and it's available everywhere that you find music, and it's really a really special song.
That was definitely a classic piece. I'm not gonna lie, I saw that, and then me and Jay also talked about the Temptation Island and the creativity behind it. But knowing that, you know, when I actually looked at the clip and I heard her voice, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, let me back up. You feel me? I was like, whoa, that was the moment. Like, if you can pick a perfect moment and put a song to it, that was the perfect song to the perfect moment. And I would have never thought that you guys would have wrote the song. Like, it was multiple people. It sounded as one, you know, and that's what I love the most, when artists can come together and sound as one, you know, and it's not about just one person's life, but it's all our lives put together, but we made it sound like a person. So I think that was perfect for Temptation Island. And I think that Before We Leave It is dope. Like, you guys gonna have to definitely check it out. I'm like, it's on our platforms, but you want to check it out on P.E.G Podcast because it's dropping. And I don't know, we might have to let you know something before we leave. I don't know. You feel
Come on.
So what are some new projects you're working on? You spoke on that you write music every day. You put it out. So what are some future projects that you're working on? And if you have some future artists that you're working with?
Yeah, we right now it's just been a whirlwind the past probably 3 to 4 weeks. I'm still releasing a new song every month, so I'm writing my own music quite often. I've got a new song coming out Friday the 27th of August. That's happening. Trying to figure out, how to promote a new song every single month and not drive yourself crazy, which is really fun. And then I'm collabing with an artist. I'm doing some stuff with Faith. She's got an album coming out.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try to pretend I know any dates because I don't. But she's got an album coming out, and I co-wrote and produced like two and a half, because one's kind of an interlude thing. But so we've been working on that quite a bit. I've been working with an artist named Jackie Burns, who is she's the longest running alphaba on Broadway for the show Wicked.
Now that's dope.
Yeah, and she's trying to kind of cross over into this singer-songwriter world that she's just never ever done. She's only done Broadway stuff, theater on stage, and getting to see her find her voice as an artist, and like I get to be a part of helping that, has been really, really special. She was here 2 weeks ago. We tracked some vocals, shot a couple music videos, because she's going to release a single, but we're going to do a duet of it too. So that's coming out eventually, probably in a month or two. And then yesterday, Jay and I were working with an artist named Olivia Knox. She's a younger up and coming artist, and her voice and her songwriting it was the first time we worked with her, and we were just both kind of like, I remember she was tracking vocals, and I just like peeked back at Jay, like as long as she keeps going, I'm not even gonna say makes the right choices and moves. As long as she keeps going, she's gonna be really okay in this industry. And so that's another artist. I'm guessing we're gonna be getting plugged in a little bit more. And then another artist named Madeline Page, Jay and I work with, writing and producing her stuff. So it's just been a ton, and it's so much fun. And every day I'm like, I don't know how all of this is gonna happen, but it's gonna happen.
Happy. I like how it's different genres, different people. Like theater is a whole different attribute in industry itself. Like my wife, she's a theater kid, and it's like the creativity behind a theater kid is so crazy because they have visions that's big. They think big off the top, and knowing that she's coming from that type of background and she want to take her voice, and use it from Broadway to making it her own. I'm excited to even hear it because I even talked to an opera singer, and shout out to Chichi Inu. She was on the P.E.G podcast, but she was an opera singer that wanted to step outside of her box and do exactly what you were just talking about. But the way she did it, she did a piece, and it was a cappella. And it was so crazy to see how powerful her voice was just doing an a cappella. So I'm like, man, these Broadway kids, man, they're definitely stepping out their box. They're like, look, we are no longer just standing inside a theater. We're jumping out there. And I love it because just mixing the two is incredible. It's like a whole different sound. I'm excited to even hear what you guys come up with, because just that sound is different, and we need something different in life. Like, we all getting used to the same beat, the same tempo, but I love what you guys are doing in doing studios and just connecting with people. I love it because you guys are bringing all type of culture to the forefront, and you working with it, and that's not easy. I'm pretty sure you have had some very challenging ones to come across you. So which project would you say was pretty challenging for you to write or co-host, but you kept going?
Ooh.
If you had any problems at all?
Yeah, that's a great quiz. There's definitely what would have been, I would say, just from recently, I don't know. I think the challenge with Jackie was that's the first time I ever worked with somebody who's never written before. It was her first time ever like writing down words that could be a song. And she'd never done it before. And so the writing part was a little easier in the sense that I think I've really learned, like, to me, the most important part of any songwriting session is like the hour before it. The hour before I pick up a guitar or play any note on a piano, when the person walks in, they sit on this couch behind me and we're just chatting about life. Like, the song 95% of the time comes from that hour. Whatever happens after that, it's like it's sparked in those 60 minutes or whatever it is. And so with Jackie, before the session, her and I was like, hey, let's just Skype for like an hour and just, I want to get to know you, who you are. And so the song came out of that hour. So the writing session was a little bit easier in the sense that we like knew where we wanted to go. We had another writer in the room and just incredible help on it as well. And so that part wasn't too bad. But when she came here to track the vocals, again, another first for her. She's never tracked vocals for a song she's written. She's never tracked vocals that wasn't like a Broadway, more like theatrical, like show off your voice type thing. And so it was a challenge in the sense that as a listener, as listeners, we hear someone like that and we know it's in there. Like, I know that she doesn't have to put on this like theatrical where you're like speaking in a higher, like cute voice that is very theatrical and beautiful for that. And so in the room, I'm like, I know it's in there. I know it's in there. How do I tell someone who's done this for 20 plus years, like, just shift how you're singing a word, or shift, like, you're really over enunciating this, like, don't do that. It's like, but that's all I've done for 20 years. So it was a challenge, but I got to tell you, Shar, it was the most beautiful moment. The first day she was here, we tracked vocals for the entire song that we wrote. Her and her manager, Chris Meek, were here. And it was good. Like, what she did, obviously she's a trained singer. Notes are perfect. It was good. It was really good. She comes in the next day to track the duet, and like, something happened. I don't know if the like sleep she got was just right. I don't know if like she just had time to really like let it soak in a little more, but something happened. And there was this like, I remember she sang the very first pass of the duet version, because the single version we did the day before, the duet version we're doing this day. And I remember she was singing it and I was just like, she found it. She just found her voice, who she is. And like, I remember, I still have goosebumps, so I'm getting them right now. I remember we stopped the take and I turned around and her manager and myself were just looking at her and we're like, Jackie, like, you did it. You just found it. And so it was a challenge getting her to realize she had it. It was a challenge getting it out of her, because when you're like, if that's all you know for so long, it's really hard to say, we'll do it differently, because it's not muscle. Like, this is a muscle, the brain's telling you without even thinking how to produce these sounds. And so I would say that was a big challenge of, how do I communicate to someone how to get the sound out that I know that's in there, but it's such a revision of everything they've ever done in their entire life.
Right.
So I think that probably as of late, that's been one of the biggest challenges, but man, the reward when that happened, when we heard her get it, it was just like, yeah, you don't have to release the song. That in itself was worth it, that we just got to witness you discover who you are as a singer songwriter.
Right. That is so dope. You know, and I run into all type of artists. Me, I'm being an artist myself, and being able to collab and talk to so many artists. I'm here, if you want to be like, oh, I don't work with this artist because I can't do this, or I can't work with this type of artist because I only like this type of genre, I only sing this type of way. The fact that you're like, okay, this is 20 years of embedded music, you know, professional embedded music. Theater is a whole industry itself. And you took 20 years of embedded music, and without offending her, you made her challenge herself. And that's why I told people, if you can't be in a room with another artist to challenge yourself because the music is different than what you used to, then you bring it to the table, because eventually you're gonna become repetitive. You know, your music is become repetitive. But to step outside your comfort zone, and that's what she did. She stepped outside her comfort zone and create a piece just by listening to what someone else had to say, not take it offensively, but listening to how you say, okay, do it a little bit this way, just try again, try again. And her not giving up on herself created a masterpiece. And like you said, hearing her just find herself was better than just releasing the music. You
Yeah.
know, not just about the music, it's seeing people change for the better, form into the person or the passion that they know they have in there. And
Yeah.
you and Jay and her manager and everybody behind there pushing her, it only created her to push further, you know? And so dope. And it must be a challenge to you, but I can feel like how much of a challenge it was to her to step outside her comfort zone. Cause theater is a zone. Like, I'm like you, I theater kids are extra. Like my wife, she gets extras sometimes. I'm like, okay, too much. Like, no, but honestly, if she didn't do too much, like it wouldn't be her. Like me starting this podcast, being in front of the camera it was horrible. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. It was horrible, Aaron. Like I was used to being in the studio behind closed doors, but you say get on the camera. I'm like, wait a minute, what? I don't talk to people, and I swear I would have attitude because we would have this studio session, and we'll do videos over and over and over. I'm like, I'm tired of doing this over and over. And she's like, don't you do music? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm stepping outside to do it myself now. And she's like, but don't you go in the studio and do it over and over and over and over? I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, you're doing it over and over and over. I'm like, but it's different. I got the lights, I got the camera, I got you saying stop, cut, do it again. And what I found, like those first few months that it took me to start, I was nervous. It would take me 50 chances to do it. Now, bro, podcast? Oh, okay, let's get on. Said, oh, I got to teach a session? Oh, okay, let's get on. You say you want me to do this in front of the camera? Oh, I ain't scared. And people be like, I'm so willing to do it. Bro, I stepped outside my comfort zone. So I know exactly what you mean about stepping outside your comfort zone. And for a theater kid to step outside their comfort zone, that's big, man. That's big. She's Broadway. You know, she out here doing it like Jennifer Hudson and them. She's singing all over the place. So now the music industry, y'all better watch out. And doing studios is coming for y'all.
We sure are. Yes. Yeah. Sure. I would have imagined you've been doing this kind of thing for years.
No,
Like years and years.
No, I'm gonna tell you something even more, bro. You wouldn't even imagine. I was a shy kid all the way up in college. Even in the military, my first song would be like, put me in positions, and I would do what I have to do, and I'm gone. I hated to be in the front. And what I noticed, they saw leadership in me, and I'm like, nah, you know what I'm saying? So I had it in me, like you said, I had it in me, but I had to find myself too, you know. People would tell me all the time, bro, I would think you did this all the time. And I'm like, nah, last year I started it and it was a couple hundred views, you know, a couple hundred plays. And I'm like, I'm still timid. But now I love it. Like I get on, I love interacting with people around the world. I love hearing different music. And I just like motivating people because you guys motivate me. Like I'm onto the Positive Energy Generation podcast. It's not just for me, but everybody. And when I felt like I couldn't do it, I stepped outside my comfort zone, was like, boom, I'm gonna do it. And now people think I've been doing it for years, and Aaron, I have not. This is going on the first full year of the P.E.G podcast being like me doing it consistently. The first year I was on and off. I do it and I get scared. I'm like, I reach out to this person. I see how many followers they have. I'm like, you know, I go, okay, maybe this person. Now I would reach out to celebrities. Like I just had Javen Cannon onto the podcast. That's Nick Cannon's brother. On the Wild Out. Y'all go check it out. Go check it out. Yo, I just had him on the podcast and it was a vibe, man. And that moment right there, that made me just take off even more. You know what I'm saying? And get you back. Like, yo, let's get back. Let's get this podcast. I know we had different situations going on, time difference going on, but I was like, no, I'm gonna keep working. So, yo, it's coming. More celebrities, more me, more you, more collaborations to uplift people is what it's about, man. No, I have not been doing this for years. It's only been a full year that I've taken seriously, but thousands of people are listening to this now, man. My goal is to millions of people to know about Aaron, to know about the Endurance Studios, and not just know about Char, but know about all these artists and public figures and people out here doing their passion and they're scared, they're
Yeah.
scared the regular person, but guess what? They step outside their comfort zone and they just do it. We
Mhm.
the signs out here. We're just doing it,
Yeah,
man.
come on. And that's always time and time never fails. That is always to me where the magic happens, is when I push into an insecurity, I push into something I'm not comfortable with, because as creatives in general, like if I can't be amazing at it, I don't want to be a part of it, because I
Right.
hate I hate sucking. Like, who enjoys failing and not being good at the thing? But I think, man, when we go, like, right now I'm really leaning into producing music, and I've
You
never
should.
considered myself a producer. Like, I can get things to sound good to a point, and then I like let somebody else do it. And I've been okay with that. I've been totally fine
Right.
just letting other people do it. I've been leaning into being a producer right now, in the past few months. And it's like, I finish it and then I look, like, that's magic. Like, I did,
Yeah.
I did that. And like, I show it to people and they're just like, wait, you haven't been doing this forever? Like, no, I really just like took it serious, like 6 months ago. It's the
Yeah.
same. But when we lean into our insecurities, we lean into those things that we're like, yo, this could be the most epic failure, but I'm going to try it. There's something special, I think, that happens inside of us that we're like, even more, if I just picked up a guitar and I played you 4 chords and sang a song, like, I know I can do that day in and day out. So there's
Right.
like, yeah, it would sound good, but like the magic would be like, oh yeah, I just learned guitar like 2 days ago. Oh my gosh, I just played 4 chords and I just sang a melody. Like, so when that like energy that we get out of succeeding in our insecurities, I think that like those are the things that it's just like, yeah, if you were great on camera all the time and you've never doubted that, like, you'd still kill this. But the fact that this wasn't comfortable for you, and now, and like that extra energy feed, I think is that thing that, like, man, the magical spark in that is just so beautiful. It's incredible.
Yeah, I do agree, and it's surprising. Even my mom, she came down to visit. She was like, "I can't even believe you talked to those many people." Like, I'm like, I've talked to over 5,000 people, and it's not even just in the PG podcast, but it's in my academy. I have a financial literacy academy that teaches financial markets, and I'm not going to even lie. I saw myself in high school. I was the basketball player. I was the sports. My brother was the brain. I mean, I had A's and B's, but I never thought that I can do finance like he would. I never thought I'd be smart. And, I started training people and people start making $10,000, $20,000. And they're like, bro, why won't you just make an academy and teach people how you did it? And I'm like, I'm not good enough. So I got more mentors, and my mentors looking at me like, why you ain't made an academy? I'm like, I don't I don't know. I'm scared. Like, it's not like no, do it. And I've already helped thousands of people inside the academy. It's like, whoa. And then having the P.E.G podcast attached to it, like, my mom was like, I cannot believe you talked to those many people. When just when you was in college, she had to call the financial aid to check on my financial aid. You feel me? Like, that
Right.
I was
You wouldn't
talking.
even go, yeah.
No, like in college, bro, to anything I needed, my mom called. If I needed to call to work, my mom called, because I hated the word no. And in the military, it molded me for like, yo, you're gonna fail, you're gonna have no's, you're gonna have mess up. And there's people that's always depending on you, whether you mess up or not. And that molded me to who I am today. And going through almost losing my life, and having that surgery that saved my life. Yo, it's like, when I came back from the table, I was like, yo, I prayed to God and said, God, I want to use my voice. Like, I sing, I know I can sing, but I want to use my voice to uplift other people. I want to build something that connects people, like-minded people that want to share their passion. And I would have never in my life imagined I'll be talking to Aaron KELLIM right now, or Jay Denton, or Javen Cannon. Like, if you had told me that in college or high school, I'd be like, you're crazy. You lose your mind, because I'm not talking to them. I don't even know who you're talking to. Now, whole conversation like we've been family all our lives, and people are like, yo, I would have never imagined. My mom to this day, she's like, the same kid that used to hide behind my leg, the same
Mhm.
kid couldn't speak up and was scared. You're out here changing people's lives. And I was like, these people are changing my lives. I'm not, it wasn't even the fact that I reached out and like, look, I got a platform, come be on my platform. It's like, no, I have an opportunity to just hear their story, and I want to share their story. And by you sharing your story, it helps me motivate myself to push forward, because every day people are dealing with mental health. You know,
Yeah.
me, I do PTSD, so constantly dealing with like doubts and not feeling good enough, and trying to get used to that civilian life and not being fast all the time. And people saying, yo, bro, you should sing, you should go to the studios, you should be on a podcast. I'm like, but when God got something for you, I would say this, he will push you. And when I almost died, it was like I could have died with my dreams in the grave. You feel me? And I was like, if I got a second chance, I'm gonna die with a legacy, and it won't be in the grave. And this is what it's about. This is about sharing people's legacies, and you are a legacy, my friend. And everything Jay's doing, and Endurance Studios, and Wild and Out, and all these type of people that's coming to the platform sharing what they do, it's a legacy, and it's letting everybody know that's listening to it, you can do it too. Yeah, it's scary. All of us been through it. No, we didn't want to do it. We got pushed to do it because our soul wanted to do so much more than what our mind was telling us. So listen to your soul. That's why we call it a positive energy generation. This is going on for generations. I didn't say generation. Generations. We're gonna know about Aaron Killing for generations. They're gonna know about Shar for generations. They're gonna know about Jay Denton and Wolfman and all those people that's coming in, Dave and Cannon, all these people that came in, they're going to remember them because they had a story and a legacy, and they started off just like you are right now. So just do it, man.
Yep.
Aaron, I'm going to give you an opportunity, man, to let, just leave a message with people, even after this podcast. They heard your story. They listened to how you connected with Jay and Faith, and being on the platform with Chuck Berry, you feel me? Let everybody hear a message that even after this podcast, they're like, yo, Aaron left this message and I can't get that out of my head. I got to push forward.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think the number one thing in my life that has been tried and true, doesn't fail me. It's the reason I've been positioned where I'm positioned. It's just 100% relational equity.
Yes.
I genuinely care about every other human being. Genuinely care. I think we are all on this planet for a reason. I don't think it's by mistake that we're on this planet. I think every person has something inside of them that only they can do. Yes, there are millions of other songwriters, but there's only one Aaron KELLIM who writes music, and there's something inside of me that no other musician or artist has that I can offer the world. And when we find that thing and we offer it, everything changes. And for me, it's like, it's the relational value. It's because I see my music, I see how it brings people together. I see what happens in a room when I'm singing and talking in between songs. And I see, like, literally shoulders drop, people's guards come down. It's 2021. People are carrying so much right now. There's so much that people are carrying. And we have the opportunity as creatives, just as human beings, we have the opportunity to be a moment in someone's day where that weight gets lifted just a little bit. And so I think if you get nothing else, the way you treat people will be part of your lasting legacy. How you interact with other human beings on a day-to-day basis, not just when they're treating you good, not just when they give you something that you want. When you go to a Starbucks and the person waiting on you is like, can I help you? They probably had a really rough day. They probably had a manager who just chewed them out. They probably had a situation at home that's been really difficult. They don't hate you. They're not there serving you to make sure that you have a bad day. In that moment, you have a choice of how you want to leave an impact on that person's life. And you can either leave a really bad taste in their mouth, make their day even worse, or you can be the person that helps turn that day around. And that is the thing that has gotten me in more rooms than talent will ever get me in. That is the thing that brings me joy every single day. And I think when we just focus on other people, when we really care about the people around us, things change. Everything changes. And less focus on me, and I'm more focused on you and everyone else in my mental capacity, and just how I can help lift up your life. That's it. That's it.
Hey, if y'all, I'm telling y'all, if y'all ain't got no fire, man, my man Aaron just put some fire in your belly, and I know you feeling your guts. You gotta go do it. Whatever you're set out to do in life, whatever your passion is, whether you're a hairstylist or barber, I don't care, an artiste or a designer, whatever. Start right now, and if you never did it before, this is a great time to start. Being your passion. Like Jay said, I called you Jay, but like Aaron said, Jay's, you see, his soul is right here. See, he's right here.
Yep.
He's here. He wants you guys to know to keep pushing forward, man. And hey, let everybody know, Aaron, where they can follow you on social media. Like, if they want to get in contact with you, follow your page or follow what you're doing, where can everybody get in contact with you?
Yes, you can find me on any social media platform, Aaron Kellim, AARONKELLIM. And yeah, feel free. I try to respond to any messages that I get, unless it's like DM us for collab, and that's all it says. And I'm like, come on, DM me for collab. But yeah, feel free to send me a message. I love interacting. That's literally, I say this almost every day when I'm in sessions. If it weren't for getting to do what I do with other people, I would hate what I do. And so I love the interaction. So feel free to leave comments. I love to chat it up with y'all.
Yo, y'all heard it from himself. Don't be in his inbox talking about let's collab. Ask the man about his date first. You know, take him out on a date or something.
Come on.
Ooh, people, don't be rude. Be a light. Take him out and get to know him, man, and just ask questions. You never know. He may be that piece that you're looking for to your puzzle. So definitely connect with Aaron. And shout out to Jay Denton. And Faith Richards, all the people out there in Endure Studios, even Tuck Berry. I got to shout out Tuck Berry. Those people that's been in your life, man, that's pushing you, shout out. And I just want to say, man, I'm proud of you that you've been a light not only to yourself, but you've been a light to others. And that's not what everybody does. There's only a select amount of people that's doing that. Like you said, 2021, people are caring so much.
Yes.
You know, people are changing the world, changing laws, changing legacies because they're starting to care. So, yo, I love it, man. I love what you're doing. I appreciate it. So keep going. We definitely got to chop it up some more. You always
I love it.
Podcast, man. Gotta keep in. Let us know. Y'all gotta go check out. What's it called? Before we're leaving. I'm sorry. Before we're leaving, dropping on the P.E.G podcast soon. So y'all have to stay tuned. That's how I'm gonna keep interested. Y'all got to stay tuned. And look, check out my man Aaron, man. He's fire. He's a soulful guy. You wouldn't even know. Like he said, he's a white guy with so much soul. Man, he probably got more soul than you. I don't even know. But I know for a fact he got a lot of soul. So y'all go listen to his music, go vibe with him, ask him out his day, make his day, make him smile. Cause yo, he has a beautiful smile. He's a handsome guy. So all you ladies go out there, check my man out, man. And yo, if y'all don't know today, tomorrow, and yesterday that we love you, yo, we love you at the P.E.G podcast. Char love you. Aaron love you. And guess what? You can't do nothing about it. Nah, you can't do nothing about it. We got strangers on here saying they love you. So don't be out here saying that you're alone, because you're never alone. And look, come vibe with us again at the P.E.G podcast. Let's get it, Aaron.
Come on. Thank you so much, Char. It's been such a joy. Man, my week is overflowing with joy now because of
Thank you.